Please avoid the sequence if you have any spinal or shoulder injury. Also, please keep in mind that you should not be feeling any of this work in your lower back. All back bends are really meant for the middle to upper back. So you're really looking to feel the stretch from here to here and in the chest. Also, before we begin, let's just go over a very important concept, which is that of the pelvic tilt. And basically what the pelvic tilt is instead of having a big arch in the lower back, we tilt the pelvis to minimize the arch in the lower back. And this is going to be very important whenever you do any type of back bending. This is something that you want to always maintain, right? So we engage the abdominals to maintain the pelvic tilt, and we keep the work in here rather than in the lower back. Also, please take your time. Do not rush the sequence. If you need to hold the stretches for a little bit longer, please go ahead and do so. This is a very intense stretch for the spine, and it is very easy to injure the spine. So please take your time, and again, make sure that you feel the work in the correct places, which is in the middle to upper spine, not in the lower back. Also, you need to be able to do all of the prep stretches fairly easily before you really begin to try to do the full wheel. Okay, so let's just go ahead and start with just some mild spine stretches. We'll just begin with a nice downward dog, which we've gone over previously, so feel free to check out some of the other videos. Shift your weight back and breathe deeply. And if you feel that you need to hold the stretches for longer, just go on ahead and pause, and then just continue to hold. You want to be very warmed up for this particular series. That's chaturanga down, move into a nice cobra. So this is where we begin to do the tilt. Right away, right now you should be in a pelvic tilt. So the abdominals are in, the shoulders are rolled back and down. Shift the weight forward if you can. Make sure you do not move the work in the lower back. Let's draw the shoulder blades together and lift some more. Look up. And then shift the weight back. Keep the arms overhead and walk the knees back a little bit. We really want the knees to be underneath the hips. So we're not going to be here. We're going to be forward slightly. Keep the palms facing down for now and pull the hips back. Now move the shoulder blades down the spine. So don't let the shoulders get hyped up. Move the shoulder blades down and pull the hips back. Feel the stretch in the shoulders. And release. Let's go back into downward dog again. Shift the weight back. Separate the shoulder blades and sink the chest. Maybe you want to go a little deeper than you normally would here. Let this chest sink. And feel the stretch in middle to upper spine. Now back into plank, chaturanga. And let's do cobra again. Shift the weight forward. Draw the shoulder blades together. Tilt the pelvis, so engage the abdominals and the glutes. Look up. Let's bend at the right knee. Look up. Feel the stretch middle to upper back. Release, bend the left knee. Shoulders together. And again, shift the weight back. Walk the knees back a little bit. This time, let's have the palms facing each other. And pull the hips back. And bring your chest as close to the floor as you can. Draw the hips back. Feel the stretch in the shoulder joint. Keep breathing. Deep breaths. Big, big stretch. And hold for as long as you need to. Back into downward dog. Plank, chaturanga, up dog again. Shoulder blades together. Chest open. Shift your weight forward. Bend both knees. Please work your way slowly into the stretch. It's very easy to cramp up into the hamstrings. And make sure that you keep this out of your lower back. Shift the weight forward and up until you feel the stretch in the middle to upper spine. Look up. And again, shift the weight back. Let's have the palms facing up. Move the knees back again. And rotate the shoulders externally. Keep breathing. Deep, deep, deep breaths. And sink the chest. Very important, the palms are starting to face up now. Keep the breath moving. And release. One more time before we attempt to heel. Downward dog. Plank, chaturanga into cobra. Once again, shift the weight forward, bend from the knees up. Sit back. This time, have the palms facing up, place the elbows down, hands on the shoulders, walk your knees back, and pull the hips back. Pull back. Keep breathing. Deep, deep breaths. And release. Let's do one more shoulder stretch and one more back bend. So bring the right arm over the shoulder, clasp it behind the back, and pull as much as you can. Make sure you don't feel any sharp pains in the front of the shoulder. Keep breathing. Let's switch the sides. And remember, you want to be able to do all of these stretches easily. The full wheel is a very challenging pose. And release. Let's do one quick camel. We have done camel previously, so feel free to go and check it out for more details on the form. So we could come up. You can have the feet flat or on the toes. Remember to tilt the pelvis. Lift the chest. And release. Okay. So please do not force this pose. If you cannot lift quickly and easily, you're not there yet. Don't push it. It's very, very easy to injure the spine. So let's go ahead and lie down. Tuck the pelvis. Very, very important that you do not go into a big arch in the lower back. So you want to keep the pelvis tucked the entire time. And try to estimate where your heels are right underneath your knees. So try to maybe look and try to feel where that is. Bring the arms overhead. The palms are going to be facing in the directions of the toes. Very important that you don't let your elbows go out to the side or your knees or turn your feet. So make sure everything stays pointing straight ahead. And also continue to breathe. So we tuck the pelvis, we lift the hips, take a nice deep breath in, and you're going to press into the legs and into the arms and lift. So we're aiming for straight arms. Now shift your weight back towards the direction of the arms so that you're moving the stretch in the middle to upper spine. Breathe. If you can walk the feet in, go ahead and do so. Keep breathing and challenge. Take your right knee up and lift. Left knee up and lift. Straighten the arms some more and head down. Round the spine. Tilt the pelvis. Roll the spine down. And hold. Deep breaths. So that's a very intense stretch. And avoid going into a deep forward bend after you do a very deep back bend. But you can go ahead and bring the knees into the chest and just roll. Deep breaths. Allow the breathing to go back to normal. And when you're ready, go ahead and roll up. So, take your time, prepare. Do not rush this pose. Make sure you have the strength in the arms and the legs, the flexibility in the spine, and that you understand the scoop, the tilting of the pelvis to keep you out of the lower back. If you're feeling this in your lower back, you're probably not quite there yet, or you're rushing, you're too far down in the spine rather than the middle to upper part of the spine. So a little more patience next time. Let's take a nice deep breath in. Exhale. And I'll see you next time.